Hello class. Today we're going to discuss multiplication of whole numbers. First, I'd like you to consider the addition of 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Notice that we have added 2 to itself 5 times. Did I say the word times? Think about that. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is equal to what? 10. Well, I said 2 5 times. Notice that I wrote the number 2, and then I write times, and then I put a 5. 2 times 5 is the multiplication symbol that is used to denote repeated addition. So multiplication is a shorthand for repeated addition. The two numbers that are being multiplied together are called factors. A factor in this case is 2 and 5. 2 times 5 are the factors that equal to the product of 10. So the product is the result of that multiplication. For example, 3 times 4. 3 and 4 are called factors. 3 added to itself 4 times is 12. So therefore, 3 times 4 is equal to 12. Multiplication symbols. There are different multiplication symbols besides just the X. We have the X, 2 times 5. We can also use a big dot up in the middle between the two numbers. That is also 3 times 2. They all mean the same thing, as well as using parentheses. The parentheses around the 4 mean that you are going to multiply 6 times 4. The properties of multiplication. First off, the commutative property of multiplication says that A times B is equal to B times A. In other words, changing the order of the factors does not change the product. Likewise, the associative property of multiplication says that multiplying A times B times C multiplied together, or A times B and then multiplied by C, is the same thing. So changing the grouping of the factors does not change the product. The zero property of multiplication states that any number multiplied by 0 is 0. Also, 0 multiplied by a number is 0. So anything multiplied by 0 is 0. Examples: 0 times 3 is 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 152 times 0 is 0. The multiplication property of 1, or the identity property, is 1 times a number is that number, or a number times 1 is that number. So anything multiplied by 1 is that number or itself. Example: 1 times 5 is 5, 3 times 1 is 3, and 451 times 1 is 451. To multiply numbers that have more than one digit, first line them up with the same order or place value above ones. So the 5 is in the place value of 1, the 2 is in the place value of 1. So we've lined up the place values of 1. Now we're going to multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. We're going to go ahead and put the 0 here, the 1's place, and put the 1 up here to add it to our multiplication here. Next, we're taking the 1 from 15 and multiplying it by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Then we add the 1 we carried. 2 plus 1 is 3. So we write the 3 in the tens place, and therefore 15 times 2 is 30. Another example: 17 times 3. Again, lined up the ones place values. 7 times 3 is 21. We write the 1, we carry the 2. 1 times 3 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So 17 times 3 is 51. 193 times 4. Again, we lined up the ones place value. 3 times 4 is 12. We put the 2, carry the 1. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 1 is 37. Again, we have too many digits, so we put the 7, we carry the 3. 1 times 4, now we're in the hundreds place, but we're still going to do the same thing. 1 times 4 is 4, and then we add the 3 that we carried. 4 plus 3 is 7. So therefore, 193 times 4 is 772. Now all of these have been multiplied by a single digit. What if we multiply by more than one digit? Well, take for example 217 times 16. 7 times 6 is 42. So we put the 2 here, we carry the 4. Notice this is just like we did before. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 4 is 10. We put the 0 here. We carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 is 13. We don't have anywhere else left to go, so we go ahead and write 13. Are we done? No, we only multiplied by 6. Now we have to multiply by 1. Now 1 is in what place? It is not in the ones place, it's in the tens place. So we have to come down to the tens place. So we'll put a placeholder 0 right here, and then we'll come down here. We're having to multiply 217 times 1. So 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. And 2 times 1 is 2. And then we just add both of these two rows together. 2 plus 0 is 2. 0 plus 7 is 7. 3 plus 1 is 4, and 1 plus 2 is 3. Therefore, 3,472 is the product of 217 times 16.